What's up guys, Tommy Muchler here, your lazy agent, and today I have an absolutely incredible video for you. You do not want to miss this at all because today I'm going to show you how to fully automate all of your blog content for free. That's right, for free. We're not hiring no ghostwriters. We're not going to be spending a lot of time writing out blog content, and if you aren't using blog content in your real estate business right now, it is an absolutely incredible way to generate real estate leads inside of your business, especially when you're making local blog content about your city. And today I'm going to show you how to do that quickly and easily with literally just one short text message. Now you're probably wondering, what kind of witchcraft are you talking about, Tommy? How do we automatically write blog posts?
You serious?
You're probably thinking maybe we'll use ChatGPT, something like that. And you're kind of right, but also kind of wrong, because we still have to talk to ChatGPT and do all that work. I don't want you to do any work. I want you to do it completely automatically. So imagine this, picture this. Say you're out and about walking around your city and you're at a coffee shop, trying out a new restaurant, or let's just say for this example, we're going to a park. And in this park, there's some really cool spots where you can take some really cool photos with your cell phone. Now, I don't have a cameraman, so I can't show you any B-roll of me walking around my park, taking pictures of our local parks here in Bellingham. And I want you to imagine that I took these pictures, which I definitely did. These are pictures of a park here in Bellingham, Washington, of Whatcom Falls Park. And I went ahead and just did a little bit of color correcting. You don't even have to edit the photos at all. You can just post them raw as you will or as you want. But let's just pick this photo, for example. Really nice photo. I'm going to go ahead and email it to my new assistant. This is an AI assistant that I built. Again, really easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and email it to myself, and I'm going to type in my email, and I'm going to type in the subject line my keyword or my blog title or an idea. Really, this can be a keyword if you're familiar with what SEO is and different types of keywords. This is where you want to type that in. Now, if you're just out in the wild and you don't really know what to talk about, just type in anything. Just type in what the subject is, like what it is you're looking at. For me, I'm just going to type in Whatcom Falls Park in Bellingham, WA. That's the park and that's the city, and this should be able to create any blog post I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit send, and I would recommend choosing a medium-sized image because you generally want smaller images when making blog content. It's going to help your page load a lot faster, so I'm going to go ahead and select medium, and when I'm done, hit send. Now as you can see, that literally took me 30 seconds to just type up an email address, quick little caption, and then select my favorite photos, and I just sent the photo to this email, which is then going to send it over to Zapier, which is going to use ChatGPT, and it's going to create me a really high quality blog post that will definitely rank in Google. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over to my website, Living in Bellingham, WA, which is my real estate blog for generating real estate leads. And I actually sent over 3 different examples with 3 different photos. Actually, these photos are almost identical. And then I literally the exact same prompt. So it's just Whatcom Falls, Bellingham, Washington. But I did that because I wanted to show you how it's going to write 3 different blogs. But before we dive into that, let's just go ahead and click on this first one. This is the first one that we sent, and this is the blog that my system created for me. We have this big, beautiful photo, and it wrote this really nice, high quality blog about the history of Whatcom Falls Park, what to expect at the park, the different trails and activities and things you can do there. And it made this really nice, high quality blog for me, literally instantly. Now, if we jump over to Google Search Console, this blog is not yet indexed. It's going to take a few hours for Google to index this blog. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and show you a different blog that is already ranking, that is literally created the exact same way. Here's a blog. It's already getting clicks. It only has 5 clicks, but it has almost 200 impressions. I just created it like a week ago, and it's already getting clicks and impressions and views, which is really cool. And again, all these other blogs I've been creating are also doing the same. They're also getting impressions and clicks and likes and follows. And as you can see, this is a really good, easy, simple way to create high quality content. Now, you're probably wondering how I did it. Great question. Let's go ahead and dive into our tutorial, and I'll show you how to build this system for yourself. It's actually not completely free. You gotta have the tool Zapier, which costs a little bit of money. And then you're going to need a ChatGPT integration, which they give you a free 30-day trial, but they do charge a little bit after that free trial to use ChatGPT. I know ChatGPT is free, but this is for the integration, the API integration, which is really easy to use, but it does cost like a couple pennies. Like literally, like this blog costs like half a penny to create, which is nothing, right? I spend like $1 a month on ChatGPT for this integration, but we'll go ahead and dive into it, starting with Zapier. So if you're not familiar with what Zapier it is, it's this is a really powerful program that you probably should be using inside of your real estate business, especially if you want to be a lazy agent like me and automate literally everything, because that's what Zapier does. It takes a bunch of different softwares, whether it's Facebook, whether it's your CRM, whether it's Gmail, it doesn't matter what the software is. It takes almost all of them and it ties them together to basically create different types of automations and systems that you want. So the way I've built this is I've built a trigger. So basically the way Zapier works is it has a trigger and then it has action. So when you tell it to do something, it's then going to do something. So our trigger is us telling Zapier what we want it to do. And then the action is what it's going to do after. So our first trigger being an email, basically what you got to do is you got to email yourself a photo. And then in the subject line, I put my keyword. So the way I built this is, again, email yourself. You're going to want a dedicated email. You don't want any other emails to go to this. So have this, go make a fresh Google email, call it your AI assistant, whatever, your blog writer, and you're going to make this brand new email account dedicated just for this. I wish this works with like text messages. It doesn't. It just works with email right now. So you just got to use email. And what you're going to do is you're going to select your email connected to Google. You're going to go through that whole process, and which is really, really easy, by the way, just connecting your account. Inside of Zapier, we select new email. So it triggers when a new email is added. We'll go ahead and select our trigger, and when a email is added to our inbox, that's when we go, and that's how we're going to start this automation, right? So we can hit test, you can test it out, bada boom, bada bing, it works. We're then going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to create our first automation. Now there's two different ChatGPT integrations. There's OpenAI, which I've made videos on before in the past. You can definitely use that. That's OpenAI is the company that made ChatGPT. However, they made a new dedicated ChatGPT integration, which you can go ahead and use. Now you are going to have to create a ChatGPT account, and you are going to have to sign up for the subscription model for this. Now this is not ChatGPT Plus, just so you are aware. This is going to be for their API access, and the way you access that is you go to new tab and go to platform.openai.com, and assuming you already have an account, you would click on view API keys, which is under here, and then you might need to set up a billing system or add a subscription for this. This is different than ChatGPT Plus, which you can definitely use if you don't want to automate it. But and just to show you how much it costs, I'm literally spending like nothing. Like yesterday, I spent like 22 cents doing different automations, but usually saying I spend a penny a day, 2 pennies, 1 penny, 2 pennies. I spent 3 pennies. Wow, it got a little crazy that day. But for the month, I've spent 52 cents doing a ton of different automations. Again, this is a little bit different and more advanced than our normal ChatGPT integration, just because there are so many more different integrations that we can use here. So go ahead and grab your API key, connect it to ChatGPT, and you should be ready to rock and roll. We'll hit conversation as our event. We'll go to action, and this is the prompt I'm going to give it. So what we do is you're going to add this prompt right here. And for our insert data, we're going to grab just the subject line. So it's just our subject line right here, which goes into right here. And we're going to tell it to ChatGPT, I need you to write me a short clickable blog title that'll rank on the first page of Google using this keyword. Only output the title and nothing else. Now make sure you add this. I've had a few instances, like every 10 blogs, it'll put out more information than just the title. It'll be like, here's a different variation of a blog title for this blog. And then it will give you the blog title. So I put this in here and it seems to work a lot better. Just a little pro tip for you. I'm using ChatGPT 4. I actually found that ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo seems to work a lot better for different things, but I'm going to leave this at ChatGPT 4. I changed my temperature to 2, and the way the temperature works is, just so you are aware, or not 2, I changed mine to 1. It should be default at 0.8 usually. I think it's 0.8, or maybe it's 1. Basically, the way temperature works is the lower it is, so if it's a 0.2, it's usually going to be more factual base, whereas 2 or 1 or 0.8 is going to be a little bit more random and going to be more creative. Think of it being a little bit more creative in its response. However, it is more likely to lie or provide incorrect information. I like to do 1. It's that happy middle ground between more factual and analytical, but I also want that creativity. So I usually do 1 on temperature, and then I don't touch the rest of this stuff. Does not matter. We'll go ahead and hit test, and you're going to get this nice prompt, bada boom, bada bing, and now you have your blog title, which is important. Now we're going to create another ChatGPT conversations because we want the body of the text. And I want these 2 elements for a reason here. We'll talk about in a second, but we'll go ahead and go to action. And I give it this new prompt right here using the information. I want you to write me an article. You should write in Markdown formatting, which is a type of blog formatting, with a clickable title and meta title. At the start, internal links, which should be naturally included in the article, and I give it internal links. I'll show you about that later. UL and OL blocks, block quotes, and any other HTML markdown formatting you can think to include. This article topic is, and then we give it our subject line, which is Whatcom Falls Park. This is going to be like, it's our topic, right? And the title will be our new AI response. So our new AI generated response is going to be our new title. Okay. And then under here, under assistant instructions, I gave it a few extra directions here. You are a SEO blog market. Oh, it should be say marketer. For my website is livinginbellinghamwa.com. We are a real estate website. We create our own content and blog posts around Bellingham Wa with the goal of generating real estate leads. Okay. So I tell it that because it's going to create, actually, I don't know if you've seen it. Remember, if you're thinking about buying a home in Bellingham, we're here to help you find the perfect property. You may visit our real estate listings here, and it gives us a URL to view all of our listings, which is really, really cool. So it's going to internally link to our website to generate leads and show houses and things like that, which is really, really important. Now we'll go ahead and hit continue, and you're going to notice that it's going to export our blog post in Markdown formatting, which is going to look like this. It's going to look really funky. Now, if I were to go to ChatGPT and you were to see this, it's going to export it like so. And this is really, really, really important. So if I were to grab and basically put our prompt into here right now. So we're going to go ahead and start with priming the AI with this initial prompt here, which we'll go to actions, which is this, the AI instructions. It's not necessarily necessary. I just want it to understand. We'll take it from there, and then we'll give it the actual prompt. So now we're going to go ahead and type in this part of the blog, which is basically the other aspect of it. And it's going to start writing our blog post. And as you can see, it's formatted very, very nicely. It's including backlinks and internal links. So this is a clickable link. It goes to a new website, which I can show here, which is Cobb, City of Bellingham. We call it Cobb. But it's writing out this very nice, unique blog post, and it's formatting correctly. That's the important part. It's actually formatting the blog post correctly, which is what we want. Now, this is a beautiful looking blog post. If you take a look at it, it actually does look different than this blog post. If you were to read them, they are different blog posts. ChatGPT is always going to make original, unique content. I want to show you that because all these three blogs, they're all different. Like if you look at all of them, all three of these blog posts are different. They're all written differently. They all sound differently. They're all just different. Okay, so that's really, really important to know. ChatGPT is always going to write you unique, original content, which is really cool. So we have this formatting, which is really important. So again, make sure we include this markdown formatting, all that stuff, but it's going to export it in a way that our website can't necessarily understand, which is all this code. So again, this is kind of computer code, and we need to change it from markdown to HTML. So what we're going to do is we're going to then open up Formatter by Zapier. We're going to select text. We're going to go to our actions, going to convert Markdown to HTML, and we're going to insert our ChatGPT prompt, okay? And it's going to export it all to HTML, which is going to look like even more confusing code, but that's okay because you don't need to know anything about HTML. If you export this to a WordPress website, it is just going to work. Same thing if you use like a CRM like Chime. Now, Chime's a little bit broken right now when it comes to using RSS feeds in blog posts, but we'll kind of get to that later and talk about that if you are a Chime user. But basically, if your website can accept an RSS feed, this will work. Now, I'm using WordPress right now because it's just an easier integration for me to use. If you do not use a WordPress website and you use like Boomtown, KV Core, Chime, Rivity, any CR Interactive, like any of these bigger websites or CRMs that include websites in them, you can absolutely use an RSS feed generator. So actually, I'll just show you right now. So instead of going WordPress next as your action, you would just type in RSS feed, RSS by Zapier, and you would create a very similar prompt as what I'm doing right now. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and move forward with WordPress because that's what I use and that's what I like. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload media into WordPress. And the reason is we want to upload that image, which we have to do first. So remember, it's very important that we add our image first. So upload our media. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our mail attachment. So this is going to be what our email is. It's going to show an attachment. It doesn't exist, but it's going to be all attachments. You just want to send one email at a time or one photo at a time, and it will work. And now we're not going to add this to any post or anything like that. We're just going to leave it as is and just upload this attachment. And now I want you to pay attention when we test this. It is going to include a host ID for us that we're going to add later. So take note of that. And I don't know where it is, but that is okay. Don't worry about that. Just make sure you hit test when you're done. Now the important part, we're going to create a blog post inside of WordPress. So create post, not page. Make sure you select post, and we're going to select type of content again. Again, we're going to select post. Now for our title, we're going to export our first, or we're going to include our first ChatGPT prompt. It's always going to put that first prompt. And then for our content, we're not going to do our second ChatGPT prompt. We're going to do the prompt from Text in Formatter by Zapier. That's because it's going to give us a raw HTML code. Again, this should work with other systems and other CRMs, but we want this raw code right here. I don't do an excerpt. You can if you want to, but we want to make sure we have our featured media be our ID. If you were to click on this and go to upload, media upload, it's going to have our ID. So you're going to want to select the ID of our content, and it's going to pull that ID from the website. So just make sure you select ID and it should work. And it's going to add that as an excerpt. Now you can do some other stuff where you add other photos in here. It is a little bit complicated if you were to use it. I don't, but you definitely can. Now I also add mine to a category, Exploring Bellingham. If you want to create different emails for like restaurants, parks, and create different categories that way, you can. Or you can just come back and just edit the category later. I just do Exploring Bellingham. It's up to you. And then I make sure my status is published, and then we hit continue, test it out if we want. And then if we want, we can publish it, and it should start pumping out different blog posts on your website. Now, I have a ton of blog posts that I've been posting, getting a little bit crazy, not gonna lie. I don't know why the images are stretching so much like that. Gotta see if I can fix that. But we just have a ton of blog posts that we've been posting. I've been using this even on my Lazy Agent website for different things. Speaking of which, if you want a ton of free like follow-up campaigns and free courses and stuff that I got, lazyagent.com, check it out. If not, no worries, that's okay. I do want to show you all these other blog posts that I've been making. Again, all ChatGPT made blog posts, all ranking on Google and generating me real estate leads, which is really, really cool, really, really powerful stuff. With that said, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I will do my best to answer them. With that said, make sure you subscribe, watch some more videos, and I will see you in the next one.